All right, everyone, welcome. Please silence your cell phones. Raise your hand if you have a question, and we'll bring you the mic. And please state your name and affiliation. The George Washington locker room is now open for 30 minutes. We'll begin with an opening statement from the coach, followed by questions for the student athletes, and finally questions for the coach. So we are joined by head coach Jonathan Sippis and student athletes Hannah Scheibel and Scheibly, excuse me, and John Quell Jones. Coach, an opening statement, please.
Yeah, we want to congratulate Kansas State. Obviously, I thought it was a game of two halves, and I thought in the first half, we did a good job against the changing defenses, and again to attack, we got to the free throw line. Obviously, the momentum to score right before the end of the half on some penetration, I thought was key. And again, to have that run, a team that's in the NCAA tournament has played, and really you've watched the Kansas State team on film grow throughout the Big 12 season. You expected that, and I thought that run, some of the turnovers just were turnovers that were live ball, that led to direct runouts, whether it be baseline out of bounds or things that we didn't do a great job of execution. But I thought down the stretch that we were able to execute. Obviously, we fouled. We got John Quell in position, I thought, for two pretty good looks to tie the game. Obviously, we'd love that to have been a one-point game after, a couple of missed free throws. But, our hats go off to Kansas State. I couldn't be more proud of our group. It's a group that's had to play through injuries. They've had to learn how to play without, the best player in our league and somebody who's going to be a WNBA high draft pick. And they just really grew. I wish for our kids that we had that opportunity to advance, especially after being the second time in the tournament for us. I thought we did a pretty good job keeping the ball out of Brianna Lewis's hands. I thought Megan Dinas really hurt us in the second half and really got the ball. I thought she got going off some of those turnovers. And again, I think that part of, rebounding, obviously we did what we're usually capable of doing. We're plus 17 on the glass, but the turnovers are really what came back to hurt us because, you see the difference in a game, in a 5-point game, and the, off turnovers difference is plus 8 for them. So when you get 19 rebounds on the offensive end, you got to have more than 11 second chance points. But and just really proud of our group. Two people up here, obviously, John Quell will we'll graduate on time here in a couple of weeks and move on to the next part of her life and have an opportunity to continue playing. Hannah Scheibel kind of is one of the people that will take the reins along with Kyra Washington and Shannon Cranshaw as they become rising seniors. And again, what Lauren Chase was able to do, if you don't know her story, she sat out over a year and a half with concussions, and it wasn't sure she'd ever be able to play again. And it ended up being a blessing in disguise. She had a year and a half of eligibility after she transferred. By sitting out, it allowed her 2 full seasons. And I just think she did a wonderful job on Kindred Weisman today, especially just keep chasing her off the 3-point line. And again, she ran our team all year. And again, I couldn't be more proud of Lauren Chase and John Quell, and our 3 other seniors who really took a lot of ownership coming in, knowing that we had won 6, 8, and 11 games coming into their college career. And John Quell and Lauren, joined us at the semester when we only had 5 wins at that point and really believe we could chase championships. And now in the last 3 years, we've been fortunate enough to win 23, 29, and 26 games. So, again, in looking at it a big picture, we wish Kansas State the best of luck on Sunday in the second round. But our kids have nothing to hang their heads, and I'm extremely proud because as good a basketball players as they are, they all graduate on time. They're all put themselves in positions to step to the next part of their lives. And again, I think the future for GW basketball is strong.
Thank you, Coach. Questions for the student athletes up front?
Up to that point?
I feel like they did a good job of being physical the whole game in terms of some of the defenses that they put on me. But those shots are shots that plays that we've ran all season and shots that I've made all season. And it was just unfortunate it didn't go in. One of the shots that I took, should have been, I should have made a better decision in terms of not taking the 3 and actually attacking the basket. I think we were down 1 at that point, so just basketball IQ in that situation, and being able to attack the basket versus taking a long shot, and that could have been the difference. So, just got to be better.
Question in the center.
Pete Yakabelli, Associated Press. Hannah, what changed in the third quarter? You guys had all the momentum there, and coming out, it looked like they got themselves on a little bit of a run to get themselves back in the game.
Well, I think Coach hit it earlier in his opening statements with the turnovers that just kind of opened up the game a little bit and giving them that momentum. We just weren't able to convert just by scoring or just getting possession, holding possession of the ball. It kind of made it more of a one-sided game, and so that was the biggest fault on the third quarter.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
I'm gonna take that.
Question up front for Coach.
Jonathan, they had not been very good from the free throw line all game when you guys had to resort to fouling. Did you have any doubt that they were going to keep missing it and you guys were going to find that shot to get the win?
Well, I thought, obviously with 31.8 seconds left and we had 3 to give, we just felt like obviously at that point in a one possession game. And I thought our kids did a good job of executing that quickly. One play it looked like we had possibly gotten a tie up, and so we talked to our kids about trying to trap. If Brianna Lewis was in the game, we were going to try to take one off the ball when it got to 5 to obviously put her at the line. So, I think that part is, you only get the door open so many times. And, in that part of things, when we were able to, in a one-point game, obviously, you expect Kindred Wiesman. It didn't matter that she missed it too early. She's a gamer. She's somebody that Coach Mitty wants at the line. So when she made those 2, we'd made the decision to try to get a quick 2 because I just felt like that maybe we could get Jonquel inside or get her to the free throw line. She made both, and we kind of got what we wanted. We got a quick foul with Brianna Craig. And again, I trust us. We'd done a good job on the offensive glass, the whole game, and we just didn't get to a spot, to get an offensive rebound off the missed free throw. And again, credit that kid as a senior to have missed 2 in a row to step up and knock 2 down. But again, I think that part of things, I figured when it got to 4, he was going to take Lewis out of the game because I've seen that in other games, so we didn't have that opportunity. But again, to come down and again, there's nobody more on our team. Jonquel has hit big threes for us. She hit 4 in the championship game a year ago. She's somebody that it's easier for her to get her 3 off because of her size. And again, I think that part again, and we were down 3 both those times. I really thought that one when we were down 3 and she attacked, she got a ball up on the rim that was a pretty good look. It didn't end up going in for an and one, but again, she's a special kid. I think late game, I thought our kids executed that well. We got looks at it. That was my concern. Was obviously we've turned it over a decent amount to at least give ourselves a chance. And again, at that point, if a shot didn't go in, we were going to try to foul to extend it. And hats off to them that they were able to push it back out to 5 before the final buzzer.
Any other questions? Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. The George Washington locker room will be open till 8 o'clock. Kansas State will be along shortly. All right, same crew here. So the Kansas State locker room is now open for the next 30 minutes. We're joined by head coach Jeff Mitty and student athletes Megan Dinas and Brianna Lewis. Coach, if you can start with an opening statement, then we'll do questions for the student athletes and finally questions for the coach. Please raise your hand. Coach, opening statement, please.
Well, I think sometimes you get in a game like this where it's just a kind of a slugfest, and we struggled scoring points every which way in the first half. Free throw line gave us trouble, but I was proud of our group for how resilient they were. This has kind of been our DNA all year. It's a resilient group. It's a group that has the ability to refocus even when they get a little off track. I thought they were frustrated at halftime. We talked about, let's get out of our own way and let's give ourselves an opportunity. And I thought you saw us come out of the locker room and really, I think, heed that advice. Megan made some big plays that got us some runouts. We got back to making some hustle type plays. And in a game like this where both teams have had a long layoff, sometimes the shooting is like that. And our group just kind of stayed the course and fortunate to come out with a win. George Washington's excellent team, excellent players. They run excellent stuff. Our group was challenged by all those things, but I think we got stronger as the game progressed.
Thank you, Coach. Question for the student athletes up front.
Cloninger with the state. Megan, the offense just wasn't working early. You seemed to kind of take over, especially in that third and fourth quarter. Just what were you telling your teammates, and how open was the rim looking to you?
Well, we knew we only had 20 minutes to play, so we really focused on just getting down on defense, getting rebounds, getting outlets, and just, I guess, having our defense create our offense, since they were great shot blockers and we couldn't really get shots off in the first half. So just, I guess, just playing good defense and getting runouts.
Question in the center.
Pete Yakabelli, Associated Press. Brianna, that first half, those first two quarters, what was the struggle in getting shots up and getting points? It looked like you guys were having a struggle to get some points there.
I mean, like Coach said, we did have quite a bit of time off, so we just had to get back in our rhythm of scoring and doing the things we needed to do. So I think it came in the second half. I mean, yeah, that's what I feel.
Josh Kinder, Manhattan Mercury. Megan, can you talk about Bree Craig and that sequence at the end, for your fellow senior, and missing the two free throws, getting the rebound, and then making the other two?
Right. I mean, the first two free throws, I just told her, 2 easy points. You just need one. Shay made a good tip for her to actually get the rebound, so it was just great for her to redeem herself. So.
Brianna, they were really aggressive on the glass. I think.
Was I worried about this team being happy getting here? I never have that worry with this group because they come in every day, good or bad, and work. So I never have that deal of them being satisfied about those kind of things. So I just, somebody had asked me that yesterday, and I think with a lot of teams you might, but with this team, I never worry about those things. They came in the week off, and we went at 6:15 in the morning, and they practiced as well as any time they had all year, and I thought, they're really focused on today being better than yesterday,
Question
which I
up
think,
front.
Pete, is why we're still sitting here. If not, we wouldn't be, because we didn't play particularly a well game today. We focused on rebounding, but we got rebounded by 17. Apparently our focus was not 2020.
Jeff, you guys started out I think 4 from 13 from the line, and then of course you knew GW was going to foul. Any doubt in your mind or in your kids that they were going to be able to knock those crucial free throws down?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, honestly, I think doubt does creep in there, and I think what you have to go back to is what you've practiced, what you've done, go back to your routine, and we've got some pretty mentally tough kids that way, and in the first half, I thought they played frustrated, trying to do too much. Second half, I thought we played determined. And I thought when they stepped to the line, they had a determined look. I didn't think Bree Craig's 2 misses were that bad. I mean, in terms of, I thought her stroke looked good, all those things. And then, Shay makes a play to give her another opportunity. And I told her in front of the bench, because, right away when she got fouled, she kind of had that look. I said, both of those look good. Step up there, you get another chance. And I'm proud of her for stepping up, because it's not easy. All the fans out there that think it's easy, I've watched a lot of halftime shootouts where that ball's bouncing around and all they're shooting for is a couch. So,
Coach, talk about Martin's big three she hit. She didn't take a lot of threes, but that might have been the biggest one she's ever hit.
Yeah, I think she surprised George Washington with that. You know, she had asked me earlier in the game. She said, that corner three they're sagging off, are you all right with me letting it, you know, are you okay with me shooting it? Because we told her to drive it. When she asked me that, I said, if you've got your feet set in rhythm, shoot it. They had gone zone, and we hadn't seen zone since the second Republican debate. All right? So she stepped out to the corner, and she stepped out there for a reason. She had a very good rhythm, and it is a big shot. Big shot, but you're right. But you know what? It was. It didn't surprise me because she had asked me that earlier in the game. Asked me that in the second quarter.
Question up front.
Coach, what's the routine now? Do you stay here and just watch this game, try to get a scouting report together, and what's the approach going into Sunday?
Yeah, we'll coaches will work through the night to get a game plan here. We'll watch this game, see who the next opponent is. There's still a game to be played. We know that South Carolina is obviously heavily favored. We'll get back to the hotel. Players will watch a little bit of this game. It'll be a different atmosphere with obviously South Carolina playing, and so they need to see that atmosphere as well. And then we'll get back to the hotel and get some rest. And I guess we have a game time. We have a 7 o'clock game time. Okay, so we know that we're playing at 7, so we'll get some rest here. And coaches won't get much rest, but we'll get ready for a good practice tomorrow.
Question in the center.
Jeff, this has got to mean something big for your program. I mean, yeah, you can now tell recruits, hey, you know, we can get to the NCAA, we can win games in the NCAA. That's got to be huge for you.
I'd really like for you to write that too, Pete, because you can tell them as well. But it is big. It is big. And it's, you know, you go into this, you know, we went into this year and we wanted to make strides. And I've said numerous times that this group comes every day better than I think any team I've coached in terms of trying to get better, trying to do what their coaches are asking them to do. So it's very rewarding. And you don't take these for granted because these things are hard to get. It's hard to win in the NCAA tournament. And so we're excited about that. We will get to work and see if we can't have good preparation for our next one.
Any more questions for Coach? Thank you.
Thank you.
The Kansas State locker room will be open until 8:10. Thank you.